Today's consumer refuses to buy a pig in a poke, especially when he's shopping for a big-ticket item. He insists on examining the merchandise, on learning details of its construction and performance, and on comparing it with other makes in the same field. Let's give the astute new car shopper a hand and help him decide between Fury and Chevrolet for 1965 by making a head-on comparison between these two popular cars. Both Fury and Chevrolet offer a lineup of 4 different series which are competitive price-wise, such as this Fury 3 and Impala. Other competitors are Fury 1 and Biscayne, Fury 2 and Bel Air, and the Sport Fury and Impala Super Sport. The number of body styles available in the different series is also identical. Fury 1 and Biscayne each offer 3 body styles. Fury 2 and Bel Air offer 4. Fury 3 and Impala 6. And Sport Fury and Impala Super Sport each offer 2, a 2-door hardtop and a convertible. Model for model, the prices are almost identical. Fury convertibles are priced a little lower than Chevrolet, while Chevy has a slight edge in the prices of other models. But in no instance is the difference in price greater than $13. And the protection of the 550 warranty is certainly worth a good deal more than that. But though body styles and prices are comparable, there are important value differences. Let's examine some of the differences, starting with styling. Chevrolet has made some styling changes, but nothing drastic or startling, except for a bulge in the belt line. This rises from the rear door and quarter panel. It's been termed Coke bottle styling. Now here's the Fury 3, completely new car on a 119-inch wheelbase. That's 3 inches longer than last year and puts Fury on exactly the same footing as Chevy. Notice the Fury 3's new styling features a chrome-trimmed center door pillar, a luxury touch that's missing on Chevrolet's top-line sedan. We note that Chevrolet's front bumper is put together from 6 different pieces. The arrows show the jigsaw puzzle arrangement. The whole thing is bolted together and then bolted to the frame. In contrast, Fury's one-piece front bumper seems a fortress of strength. The top section juts forward to prevent override by another car. The Chevy has a lot of unsightly seams where the front end sheet metal is joined together. On the Plymouth Fury, the front end sheet metal has been put together by expert hands. Every seam is filled and packed with a plastic material and then sanded until it is smooth and flush with adjoining surfaces. Around back on the Chevy, it's the same story, the obvious and unattractive seams, and a pieced-together bumper. Here's the Fury's sleek flow of sheet metal, smoothly and precisely joined together, and the solid one-piece wraparound bumper that is as decorative as it is protective. While we're back here, let's look at the 2 trunks. The man has to hoist that case of pop almost 2.5 feet to put it in the Chevy trunk. Loads go into the Fury trunk with a lot less struggle because the sill is only 22.5 inches from the ground. To get the case out of the Chevy, he has to haul it almost a foot straight up. With Fury, he has to raise the case only 5 inches, less than half the Chevy lift. It's much easier to get anything in and out of the Fury trunk. The Chevrolet owner who runs out of gas is going to have a few interesting moments trying to get gas into Chevrolet's filler from a gas can. The Fury, on the other hand, has a readily accessible side fill opening, and Plymouth's tank holds 25 gallons, 5 more than Chevrolet. On the rear door, Chevy has only a 1-position door check. Fury's mid-position check is a convenience in tight parking situations, and less hazardous when the rear door must be open on the traffic side of a street. In the rear passenger compartment, Fury has more headroom as shown on the screen. Fury also has more rear hip room. Another Fury rear seat advantage. The rear sill is 3 inches narrower than Chevrolet's. Then, too, the Fury rear tunnel is almost 1 inch narrower. These combine to give rear seat passengers quite a bit more footroom in the Fury. There's more comfort space in the Fury front compartment, too. The Fury front tunnel is both lower and narrower, so there's more footroom. And Fury's 1.5 inch higher front seat provides more support for thighs and back, and a better close-up view of the road. Through the Chevy windshield, the driver's down-front view of an obstacle in the car's path is not as good as it is in the Fury. The driver of a Fury can see more of the obstacle directly in front of the car. This extra safety vision is due not only to Fury's higher front seat, but also to Fury's deeper windshield. In fact, Fury's all-around visibility is better too, with 246 square inches more total glass area than Chevrolet. Both cars have parallel action windshield wipers, but the Fury wiper blades are 3 inches longer, so they give a lot bigger view of the road in dirty weather. This driver is reaching for one of Chevrolet's vent controls, which are located at the extreme right and left of the Chevrolet instrument panel. Fury's vent controls are conveniently located on either side of the steering column, within easy reach of the driver. There are differences in the structures surrounding the Chevy and Fury interiors. Plymouth's unibody integrates frame and body into one solid unit, gives more resistance to body twist, sag, and rattles than Chevrolet's conventional bolted-together frame and body. To keep the Fury body both strong and beautiful for years, it goes through an intensive 13-step dip-and-spray anti-rust procedure. The Chevy body receives only a spray treatment. At the front wheel openings, Chevy has installed protective inner skirts to help prevent corrosion damage to front fenders. But Fury protects the same area much more completely, with full front wheel housings. The housings also add to the structural strength of the Fury front end. Chevy's suspension system uses coil springs at all 4 wheels. This necessitates the use of multiple rear control arms in an attempt to eliminate sway and pitch. Fury employs the famed torsionaire suspension system with torsion bars in front and leaf springs at the rear. Torsion bars have long been used on European and American race cars to improve handling, just as they do on the Fury, and they also help smooth out the roughest roads for Fury owners. Fury has a big edge in brake lining area with 202.1 square inches, compared to Chevy's 184.3 square inches. Fury's substantially larger lining area means longer lining life and more effective braking. In engine horsepower, Fury has an advantage in every standard and optional engine. Chevy Standard 6 produces 140 horsepower, and Fury Standard 6 develops 145. In the standard V8s, the margin is greater. Chevy's engine has 195 horsepower, and the Fury V8 has 230. In the optional engines, Fury retains its margin. In the first V8 option, Chevy has 250 horsepower, Fury 270. In the second, Chevy turns up 300, Fury 330. In the third, Chevy's engine produces 340 horsepower. Fury's engine tops it with 365. And there's a difference in the tires on V8 models. Chevrolet uses 735 by 14 tires on all their standard V8 models, except convertibles and wagons. Fury V8 models use the larger 775 by 14 tires to improve ride and give extra wear. In the automatic transmissions, Fury has a big advantage. In every driving situation, the Fury 3-speed torque flight outperforms the outmoded 2-speed power glide still used by Chevrolet. Torque Flight's acceleration range has more downshifting phases to provide, safer passing power, and better engine braking both downhill and on the level, and extra fuel economy and engine life. When we compare station wagons, we see the Fury wagon has a 2-inch longer wheelbase, 121 inches to 119 for Chevy, and that's an indication of the greater space Fury has inside. Not only does the Fury wagon offer more cubic feet of cargo capacity than Chevrolet, but also a longer deck for tailgate loads and a higher and wider opening to better handle bulky loads. Chevrolet offers owners a typical fixed post and rail luggage rack. On the Fury rack, the rear bar is adjustable, moves forward to clamp different sized loads in place snugly and safely. Yes, Fury and Chevy cost about the same, but in Fury you get the sleekest of styling, the extra comfort of more footroom, more room in the rear for hips and heads, and a higher front seat. And the extra convenience of close-at-hand controls, 2-position rear door checks, and a trunk that's easier to load and unload. As additional value bonuses, Fury gives you the better ride of torsionaire, the responsiveness of Torque Flight, the safety of bigger brakes, and on V8 models, bigger tires, greater visibility up front and all around, more cargo space in the wagons, and more horsepower engine for engine right down the line. Greater value. That's what Fury gives you, and that's what you offer the many prospects who want the facts before they buy. Greater value with a plush new Plymouth Fury for $1965.